Watch what Megan Fox said about her son.
Sometimes he'll dress himself and he likes to wear dresses sometimes, and I send him to a really liberal, like, hippie school, but even there, here in California, he still has little boys going like, boys don't wear dresses or boys don't wear pink. And so we're going through that now where I'm trying to teach him to be confident no matter what anyone else says.
Yeah.
That's right.
Be yourself.
Yeah. He had stopped wearing dresses for a while. He just wore one 2 days ago to school. And he came home and I was like, how was it? Did any of the friends at school have anything to say? And he was like, well, all the boys laughed when I came in, but he's like, but I don't care. I love dresses too much.
Megan Fox is getting absolutely roasted by big names like Elon Musk online right now for dressing her 3 sons as girls.
What the
This has raised a bunch of new controversy due to new photos of her sons, which I will show right now. But before we get into this, make sure you like and subscribe. I put out new videos every single weekday, so you won't want to miss them out. Subscribe, put on the notification bell, and let's get into the video. So this was the tweet that started it all, okay? Here are Megan Fox's 3 sons. Yes, you heard me correctly. Those are her 3 sons. But at first glance, you would think that these are 3 daughters. You even see the girl or the boy. Even I'm getting tripped up, okay? It's confusing. You even see this boy all the way to the left wearing strong girls on his shirt, pink, and they all have long hair. You would not think that these are boys. Robbie Starbuck said, "These are Megan Fox's sons. We used to live in the same gated community and our kids played at the park. I saw 2 of them have a full-on breakdown saying they were forced by their mom to wear girls' clothes as their nanny tried to console them. It's pure child abuse. Pray for them." But yes, let's continue looking at this. So these are her 3 sons. Let me ask you this. What are the chances that 3 out of 3 of Megan Fox's sons all want to dress like girls? A recent Pew Research poll found that about 5% of young adults in the United States identify as the opposite gender from their biological sex. So you just saw the poll, and this was actually a poll taken last year. And we all know that as our society has been pushing this gender ideology onto the kids, onto society at large, more people have been identifying as transgender or non-binary or queer, all of the above, gay, lesbian, because it's become trendy. We all know this, but even just only 5% of the population from last year, so this is not from decades ago, just in 2022, only 5% of the population would identify as transgender. So under those odds, if Megan Fox were to have 100 kids, then 5 of them should be transgender, but no. 3 out of 3 of her sons are dressing as girls. What are the chances? I'll tell you what, there's a common denominator, and that common denominator is Megan Fox herself, a satanic Hollywood mother who is pushing this gender ideology nonsense onto her children. Why is she doing this? Well, it's the modern day way of virtue signaling. Back in the day, celebrities used to visit countries like Africa, like Haiti, to build houses for the poor to virtue signal. But in today's society, they are transing their own children to virtue signal to the public and please the rest of the Hollywood elites. So Megan Fox did say that her son started wearing dresses at the age of 2. She said, and I quote, "Noah started wearing dresses when he was about 2, and I bought a bunch of books that sort of addressed these things and addressed a full spectrum of what that is. Some of the books are written by transgender children." So of course, when Megan Fox saw her son take interest in wearing dresses, she didn't look at the Bible, she didn't read Irreversible Damage, she definitely didn't look into cases of detransitioners who claim that transitioning was a terrible thing that happened to them. No. Of course, she looked at books that would validate her son's transition, her son's wearing dresses, because that's what's trendy today, guys. Transitioning the kids, that's the virtue signaling, and she was eager to set that in place and validate it. So naturally, as I'm reading the story, I'm thinking in my head, well, where's the father? What does the father of these 3 sons have to say about this? And of course, the father of her 3 sons, American actor Brian Austin Green, was validating it as well. Of course, Hollywood corrupts these people, okay? But Brian Austin Green, when asked about how he felt about his son wearing a dress, said, and I quote, "They don't agree with him wearing dresses. To them I say, I don't care. He's 4, and if he wants to wear it, then he wears it. He's not harming anyone wearing a dress, so if he wants to, awesome. The issue with that, of course, is that their oldest son, Noah, has quite literally cried to his mother about being bullied for wearing dresses. So it actually is harming someone. It's harming their poor son, Noah, who is getting bullied and harassed and not getting the help he really needs. It's also harming the younger sons because if you think about it, younger siblings look up to the oldest sibling for guidance, for what to do. So they see their older brother wearing dresses and then they're like, hey, we should wear dresses too. That's what's cool. So it's just letting it infest their entire household. And it's sad. It's harming the very kids. These kids need help and not to be pushed into the direction that is antithetical to nature and their biological design. So, former congressional candidate Robbie Starbuck posted this about Megan Fox dressing her sons as girls, which created an insane firestorm on the internet. Trust me. This gets juicy. You do not want to click out anywhere. Make sure you watch this entire video because what she said back to him is shocking. So this was the post that started it all. He said, "These are Megan Fox's sons. We used to live in the same gated community and our kids played at the park. I saw 2 of them have a full-on breakdown saying that they were forced by their mom to wear girls' clothes as their nanny tried to console them. It's pure child abuse. Pray for them." And then Megan Fox responded, and you will not believe what she said. So she first, as you can see, I have it up on the screen, she posts an Instagram post of what Robbie Starbuck said about her. And then she responds saying, "Hey, Robbie Starbuck, I really don't want to give you this attention because clearly you're a clout chaser, but let me teach you something. Irregardless," which I don't think that's a word, but irregardless of how desperate you may become at any given time to acquire wealth, power, success, or fame, never use my children as leverage or social currency, especially under malevolent and erroneous pretense. Exploiting my child's gender identity to gain attention in your political campaign has put you on the wrong side of the universe. I have been burned at the stake by insecure, narcissistic, impotent little men like you many times, and yet I'm still here. You effed with the wrong witch." So she seems to be threatening Robbie with witchcraft. And Robbie did comment on her post, and I'm going to put it up on the screen now and I'll read you exactly what he says. "I don't even have a political campaign, Megan. I lived in the same gated community as you in Calabasas. Not naming it because I don't know if you still live there or not. Our kids played together there. Ask your nanny. She was the one bringing them to the park, not you. I have photos of our kids playing because they played so regularly. Your boys were very sweet, as I said in that thread, and the outburst of emotion was sad for all of us, including our kid who witnessed it. An independent adult witnessed this, and I have a text from them about it. You can DM, and I'll show you it privately. I only said something now because I hadn't followed along after we moved and figured change would ensue after that incident, but I saw this photo online, which was the one I showed earlier, realizing that it continued and that brought it all to the surface where it felt necessary to say something. Very sad to see it didn't stop. I'm not afraid of witchcraft. I'll pray for you and your boys. It's you who needed to hear that this happened. Maybe you'll investigate those feelings that burst out when you see the independent text/photos that I'll happily send to you. I firmly believe that what I witnessed should never happen to a child. I have Jesus, so I'll never fear witchcraft. Amen. But I'm happy to provide photos/text for you to think about. As for clout chasing, I'm not the one doing a blood drinking ritual for attention. I'm speaking up, and if I'm guilty of anything, it's not doing so sooner. I thought that was an amazing response from Robbie Starbuck. And yeah, I mean, I do want to point out to my audience, we should be praying for Megan Fox and her 3 sons. Let's pray for them. You know, it's so easy sometimes to be laughing at, you know, the LGBTQIA community, but we should be praying for these individuals, praying that God can come into their lives and let them see the light. Megan Fox gave this interview in May that she knew her oldest son didn't want to subscribe to gender stereotypes from the time he was in the womb. She also admits that she's raising all 3 boys gender neutral. Does she really think anyone believes she didn't push this on them? And I will read this next part up too. Fox and Green share 3 sons. There are not many public photos of the Green children online, but in the ones that exist, each child appears to have long hair, which sometimes prompts people to ask questions about their genders. In fact, Fox has spoken publicly about choosing to raise their 3 boys as gender neutral. Quote, "When I became pregnant with Noah, I could feel through my mother's intuition, I suppose, that he was not subscribing to gender stereotypes. So I decided to provide an environment for him early on that would allow him to discover how he wanted to express himself." No, she actually just was pushing the gender ideology onto him, forcing him to think this, having a hand in making him confused and validating these confusing thoughts against the wishes of her own son. It's sad. Again, we need to pray for these children. And now, don't click away, because Megan Fox is threatening to perform some witchcraft outside of Robbie's Starbucks house. It's very strange. So look at this. So Megan Fox is now threatening to hold a carcass-eating ritual at my house, Robbie Starbucks says. That'd be bold and / dumb decision in Tennessee. If her goal was to look crazy, mission accomplished. Now people know she practices witchcraft too. You guys can see this right here. It is just weird stuff. She literally posted me outside Rob Starbucks' house, some witches holding a carcass eating ritual. So I don't even know what to say about this. I'm speechless, but it's not shocking because I'm sure you guys know Megan Fox was literally eating blood with her ex-boyfriend MGK, Machine Gun Kelly. So this is why I called her satanic earlier in the video. This is exactly why this is not normal. This is not a Christian mentality. This is just very wicked, evil, satanic, demonic, all of the above. Now, for the fun part, to see what prominent people in the industry, on the internet, are saying about this fiasco. They're chiming in because there's a lot to chime into. So first, I want to show you guys what Elon Musk said, looking to hire a VP of witchcraft and propaganda. And then I also wanted to show you guys, here is the Hodge twins responding to Elon Musk saying, Megan Fox acting like a crazy ass witch now at Robbie Starbuck. And there's even more. Like, let's look at the original post. Let's just scroll. Let's just have some fun. This is what we like to do on this channel. We like to see what people on the internet are saying about whatever's going on. Let's go look at the post where she's actually responding to him, because that's crazy. This is insane, from Ashley St. Clair. And then people are mentioning, like, irregardless. Like, is this some new made-up term? It just reminds me of, like, the Hollywood elites, or elites in general, just love to use, like, big words that they're just making up by the day. Irregardless. I'm pretty sure that's not a word. Anyways. What campaign? What is she talking about? You don't have a campaign right now. Very bizarre reply. Gina Bontempo, who we love, says, it's ironic she's accusing you of using children as leverage to gain social currency when she is the one forcing gender ideology on her kids to make herself seem more progressive, tolerant, etc. Exactly. Like, that's what I was talking about with the virtue signaling. That's precisely what Megan Fox is doing. She wants to virtue signal to the world that she's woke and that her sons are dressing as girls and they're sticking in with the woke trend. That's precisely spot on what's going on. And that rhymed. Then, yeah, tell her irregardless isn't a word. Irregardless, oof. It's just, it's so, she seems stable, super stable genius. She is crazy as hell, says the Hodge twins. Yeah, right here. Ian Miles Chung is so correct here. Pretty clear she looked up some words in a thesaurus to try and sound smart. Precisely. That's what happened. So yeah, I invite you guys to scroll and just kind of read these responses. It's really funny because Megan Fox is just getting eaten alive here. But yeah, guys, that's the full story about what's going on today with Megan Fox and her 3 sons that she is unfortunately dressing as girls. Like I said, pray for them. And make sure that you subscribe to my channel. New videos come out every single weekday. And I did have to, kind of dance around this topic a little bit because the Daily Wire was experiencing some issues on their YouTube channel for mentioning the transgender stuff. So I apologize for not maybe being as blunt with my true thoughts on this. But, I'm trying to build up this channel, trying to get it monetized and grow it. And eventually I will be taking all of this stuff to Twitter, but in the meantime, I do not want to disenfranchise the YouTube audience. So thank you guys. My last video performed well. I hope this one does too. I want to thank you guys, subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow.